Hoseok, a deep voice called the redhead, who looked over to the man and bowed his head in respect. Yes, sir. The man named Hoseok replied. The Mafia stood there silently, having a second thought to what he was about to ask. Should I ask why Jungkook took the leave suddenly? That, too, he didn't inform me. Personally, rather asked Hoseok to do it. The Mafia sighed and shook his head. Nothing. You can go. Taehyung dismissed the man. He was about to go to his room when he saw his son all dressed up for his preschool. He was walking with one of his trusted men, named Park Jaemin, who was strictly instructed to drop and pick Gyun from school. Hey, cub. Taehyung went to his son and picked him up in his arms. Good morning, my baby, Raven spoke, kissing Gyun's cheek, who put his head on his shoulder, a little sleepy, I guess. Good morning, daddy, Gyun replied lazily. Had brekkie? Taehyung asked in his soothing voice. Not the one he uses with others. Gyun nodded his head. Jaemin. Taehyung turned to the pink-haired man who was standing silently like he don't exist. You go and help Yoonji. He's in the training room. Jaemin nodded, his cheeks turning pink with the mention of certain someone. Taehyung smiled and left with his sleepy baby in his arm. Gyuna, wake up, baby. We reached your school. Taehyung woke up his sleepy baby, who finally woke up with a pouting face. Taehyung chuckled at the cute face his baby made. He picked Gyun in his arm and closed the car door. Aren't you going to leave me? Taehyung asked, once he noticed Gyun is hugging him, with having no plan in leaving him anytime soon. But then, Gyun's gaze wandered over to someone, up and down, and he wriggled in his father's hold, begging him to put him down, making his dad confused. When Taehyung put him down, he heard Gyun calling Cuckoo, which made him recall someone else. He came back to his sense when he felt Gyun leaving his hand and running up to a cute and pretty boy with a shy smile on his face. Hey, Kim Tae-gyun, don't run, Taehyung shouted, to which Gyun giggled. Waving back to his father, he went back to the boy around his age, apparently who his son called. On the way back to his mansion, Taehyung's mind was filled with the thoughts of a certain brunette. It's already been 1 week. How many more days does he plan to take leave? Taehyung frowned, engrossed in his own thoughts. He didn't notice when did he reach this particular building. What's gotten into me? Why am I here? The Ravenhead whispered to himself. He never once visited this place, but he clearly knows who lives here. He sighed and thought to pay a visit, as now he's already here. He rang the doorbell of the penthouse and began getting impatient as no one opened the door. On the 5th ring, the door flew open, leaving him speechless. Jungkook opened the door angrily, ready to snap at whoever decided to ruin his precious sleep. His eyes were half open, a frown on his face, but his eyes widened when he saw Taehyung at the door, all clad in black clothes, his raven locks covering his caramel orbs. Shouldn't you check first who is there? Taehyung asked a minute later, hiding the fact that he felt something when he saw Jungkook's cute morning face. The brunette was wearing a white baggy sweater, his legs on full display. It's not like he was seeing those for the first time. Rather, he was astonished to see Jungkook all this cute. He never thought Jungkook could own cute fits, as he always saw him in working clothes that were always dark in color, fitted his body and gave him a sexy look. Hyung, Jungkook whispered, still speechless as to why the Mafia was here. Come inside. He let the man inside and led him to the living room. I'll bring something for you to drink, Jungkook said, and went to the open kitchen without hearing Raven's reply. Jungkook was making coffee slowly and thinking about why the Mafia was here. He never once visited him, as they were not close. Yes, they had sex every now and then, and Jungkook was working under Taehyung, but they never had any talk other than work-related. If he had something to tell me about work, he could have called me. Jungkook thought and turned only to startle when he saw Raven-haired standing there. Jungkook's heart was beating so loudly, and he was afraid that the Mafia could hear him. He gulped and stood there awkwardly, not knowing what to do. Taehyung took slow steps towards Jungkook, whose heartbeat started beating at a fast pace. As compared to earlier, both of them stared at each other a little longer than they should have. They were lost in each other's eyes, like they were having a silent talk. Why you took sudden leave? I was. Gen misses you, Taehyung whispered when they were standing too close. His eyes were flickering from Jungkook's lips to his brown orbs. Suddenly, he wanted Jungkook in his arms and hide his face in brunette's neck. Maybe it was because Raven haven't seen the brunette for more than a week, which caused him to behave like this. Yes, it could be. But I call him every day. Jungkook whispered, his heart escaping a beat when he saw known emotions in Taehyung's eyes. Was it love? Was it care? No, I'm hallucinating. But what Taehyung did next left Jungkook stunned. The Raven leaned down and placed his lips on Jungkook's inviting one. Their lips weren't moving. It was just a peck. Jungkook could feel it wasn't filled with lust, rather it was something more. But Jungkook didn't want it to jump into conclusion and break his heart. And I missed you too. The words slipped out of Raven's mouth, and Jungkook felt like fainting. But before he could say anything, Taehyung's phone rang, who stepped back a little and received the call while Jungkook was busy in his own thoughts. Jungkook, I will see you later. You can come to work whenever you want. Take rest. He kissed Jungkook's temple and left the place, leaving a freezing Jungkook behind. What that kiss meant